Have you ever felt that moment when noise, arguments, and just trying to make people understand you starts to feel heavier than silence? When every explanation feels like you're shouting into an endless void? That's exactly where I was. I was constantly trying to defend myself to make people see my true intentions. I genuinely believed that if I just explained myself a little better, they would finally get it. But here's the hard truth I learned. Most people don't listen to understand you. They listen just so they can reply. And one day, I just got tired. Not angry, not broken. Just tired. I was tired of wasting my energy on people who were never going to meet me halfway. Tired of explaining my need for peace to those who thrived on chaos. I was tired of letting all that noise drown out my own intuition. So, I decided to stop talking. Not forever, but just long enough to hear what silence had to say. At first, it was incredibly uncomfortable. It felt like standing in a huge empty room where all the echoes of my past arguments and fears were bouncing off the walls. My thoughts were loud, and my anxieties were even louder. But as the days turned into weeks, something amazing started to happen. The world didn't fall apart because I was quiet. The people who truly cared about me stayed. And the ones who were only there for the drama, they just drifted away. That's when it hit me. Silence isn't weakness. It's mastery. When you learn to be silent, you start to hear all the things you were too distracted to notice before. You see people's true intentions. You pick up on the subtle shifts in their energy. Silence reveals everything that words try so hard to hide. I remember this one afternoon. I was at my usual cafe. There was always this group in the corner, gossiping. In the past, I would have joined in just to feel like I belonged. But that day, I just sat there in silence, listening. I didn't say a single word. They tried to pull me into the conversation. One of them even said, "You're so quiet today." I just nodded and took a sip of my coffee. The longer I stayed silent, the more uncomfortable they became. My silence wasn't passive, it was powerful. It forced them to confront their own noise. That day, I realized silence speaks in frequencies louder than any sound. It tells people you're no longer available for nonsense. You've outgrown the need for validation. There's a profound peace that comes when you stop reacting, when you stop chasing explanations, and when you start observing instead of arguing. People might call you cold. They might say you've changed. But what they don't get is that silence isn't indifference. It's finally understanding what deserves your energy and what doesn't. You begin to see how much of your life was spent trying to be heard in rooms that were never meant for your voice. In silence, you finally start listening to the only voice that truly matters. Your own. That quiet inner whisper that's been buried under years of others' opinions and expectations. It's the voice that says, you don't have to explain yourself anymore. Just be. When you follow that voice, something magical happens. Your mind clears. You notice how arguing never really changes people. It only feeds their ego. And you realize that sometimes walking away without a word is the most powerful statement you can make. It's not about being misunderstood. It's about being at peace with it. Silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's the presence of strength. It's emotional maturity. It's telling the world, I have nothing left to prove. When you reach that point, your life changes. Opportunities flow to you because your energy is focused. People respect you more, not because you're loud, but because your silence carries weight. You stop talking about your goals and start showing them through your results. The same people who doubted you will start watching in silence, wondering how you became so centered and unbothered. But you don't need to explain it to them. You just smile. Because the truth is, silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. It's where you meet your true self. And you'll look back one day and realize, the moment you learned to be silent was the moment your entire life began to change. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd like this video and subscribe for more content on finding your inner peace and strength. See you in the next one.